You guys want to recap the last session for Jeremy since he missed it?
You want it, Matt?
I will remember some of it.
Okay, we'll patch piece it together.
Sounds good. Tag team. So we arrived in the system and found the two ships destroyed. Were you there for that, Jeremy? Any of that? Okay.
That was the tail end of the last session. I remember was we found the ships, and somebody had like the psychic conversation with a kid in a box or something like that.
Yeah, that was Spencer.
Yeah.
So we sent a drone out to investigate the ships, but we swung by the artifact, and something like flared up on the artifact, and the drone feed just cut off. So we're assuming it's been destroyed. So then we investigated the ships somewhat. One of the ships, well, we investigated one ship, I believe.
Yes.
The one that we're supposed to get the cargo from. And it was filled with space zombies, sort of. They had shards of metal in their heads that seemed to be what were controlling them. Shaun, or Spencer, we sent Spencer to go try to hack into the computer to see if he could figure out what had happened. He got attacked by zombies. We pulled him out. Nobody. Well, we tried pulling him. The zombies ended up floating into space. I'm a little fuzzy on exactly what all happened right in there. We didn't actually pull him out.
Yeah, so he went to investigate this terminal, and upon investigating it, he found the boy that had been talking to him, Devin, was speaking through this terminal. And when he questioned Devin, like, where are you? He said, well, I'm right here. And he said, well, what do you mean you're right here? Like, where? And he said, I'm right here in front of you. So we pieced together that Devin is actually in this computer. And then through some of the dialogue exchange that we had through there, Devin was a strong psychic that had the ability to sort of hijack or become these digital signals, and the pirates were using him to do that, like reconnaissance almost. And something happened, and he felt like he lost his body, but he's still able to communicate through these electric devices. So Spencer had this little talk on him, found the crew of the first ship didn't want to stay dead, and came after him. And his great plan was to just lay there, and it actually worked because zero grav, shooting guns, zombies floating and flying. So he ended up, he did come back to the ship. I think he came of his own accord, though.
I think he downloaded Devin onto his cyber deck.
Yep.
And we brought him on the ship, the shuttle.
Yeah, and then we found out from doing that we didn't need to type into it or anything, that he just heard us. So anytime there was speakers or anything, or microphone or anything, he's able to communicate with us directly through that. And he's able to, he had an encounter with the artifact, and he said that the artifact didn't like him. He was mean. He couldn't understand what he was saying, but he definitely felt it was threatening. I asked him sort of smooth talked him and coaxed him the best that he could, a child, to get him to go try to see what it was doing. And we found out that it had taken over the drone that we lost feed with, and it was looking at Levi. It was looking at the ship.
The artifact in the drone is looking at the ship.
Yeah. The artifact that has the ability also to take over electrical devices was looking at the ship. And we're in a little, the little sidecar ship.
Oh, we're in the shuttle?
Yeah,
We're in the
you're in the
shuttle.
landing shuttle. Y'all went to
Okay.
investigate the specifically the Astra Unum ship at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And-
believe Devin told us that he was unaware of the cube until like its cage had been opened, something like that. So we think it's in they had been transporting it in some sort of Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anecdotally,
We're not sure.
go ahead, Shane.
I was just gonna say that you believe it got taken onto the pirate vessel. Got taken off of this ship. It got taken onto the Wolves vessel, and unloaded onto that one. You guys were specifically interested in where the Faraday cage was located, and the kid couldn't tell you where it was. He doesn't know where it is.
Yeah. So there were two
but-
breaches in the ship.
Yes. Yeah, it's got
And
a
he said it was
massive
in one of
breach
them.
in the bridge and one in the main hull of the ship, and then of course there's damage on the other ship as well. But those are the two notable breaches on the Wolves vessel. And then of
One
course
other detail.
the artifact is just floating out there at the nose of the ship's about 400 meters out. So.
And by the artifact, there was someone in
Yes.
in power armor that was missing their head.
Oh,
But
Tethered to the pirate
is
ship.
tethered to the pirate ship via cable. But he is surrounded by other people surrounded by other bodies just floating out in space. And he
Other
is about
dead
100
things.
meters from the artifact. It looks like whoever they were trying to reach the artifact.
sure.
But there's
So,
a suit of
let's-
power armor that's damaged there, just waiting for you to get it, Levi.
Cool. I caught that part.
Yeah.
I want to back up and figure out what happened to the space zombies. I lost that thread.
Yeah, space zombies. Yeah.
So they were dead bodies that had just like a metal, like like diamond shaped shard, was it? Like triangular shard?
Yeah, a 3D triangle. So, 3D triangle. So, what is that called again?
Pyramid?
A
Pyramids, yeah.
Like
Pyramid shards, like spikes,
okay.
like jammed into their foreheads and stuff like that.
But where are they now?
Well,
Two
you
of
don't
them
know
were
where
still on
all
the
of
ship.
them are, but you have seen
Okay.
some that encountered Shaun, and they tried chasing him down a hallway, and they ended up tumbling over each other. And I mean, best guess the reason why that happened is likely because their mag boots weren't activated. So,
But they're on the Astra Unum ship.
yeah, they
The
were.
three that we encountered were
were
the three that
encountered.
Shaun encountered were, yes.
Yeah.
And then the other detail with it was their eyes looked different.
One of
think
them's
their eyes
eyes
were-
looked different when he tried to shoot a gun at you. During that brief time, he shot a gun at you.
Yeah.
One of them
So-
actually leveled a gun at you to shoot a gun at you, but only briefly did his eyes look different during that short time.
Yeah, he aimed a gun at Spencer in like an AK, a combat rifle in space, and he shot, and then he just launched himself backwards due to the force of the gun.
But as soon as he stopped using the gun, like his
His
eyes
eyes changed.
went back. Yeah.
And now we're all caught up.
Yeah, I know it's a lot
Right.
to take in there, but space zombies. Oh, and Aston is. I asked him if Cliff needs a reminder. Aston is more invested now because he's concerned that the alien artifact is alien and that the aliens might be totally inorganic.
Cyborgs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a description of the artifact, like the embodiment of the artifact, which reminded Aston of it just being like a cyborg, like just an inorganic living being, and Aston doesn't like them.
And there was something about it. It had the desire to replicate itself. I think Devin passed something like that on to us.
Okay.
There was something about the way Devin explained that also too, that like it might be using the zombies as a way to learn about humans too. Yeah. Because they don't understand us. Because it doesn't understand us.
Well, that makes two of us, so.
So anyways, you guys are in the landing shuttle out in space, probably just, well, you may still be docked, I don't know, at the breach on the starboard side of the Astra Unum freighter vessel. Or I can't remember, you guys may have been flying back. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys towards your ship. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys decide which of those two was occurring.
It's up to Levi.
Yeah. I think you guys, I think you might have been going back, like to try to get back to your drone and to your ship, but you knew you wouldn't make it back in time before the drone.
So, I mean, yeah, as long as all of us are on the ship together, I think we would be trying to head back and at least see what the drone is going to do if we can't beat it, kind of thing.
I think you guys figured out already that it was, you sent Devin actually to try to jump into it, actually. And it jumped into the drone and basically, Devin got his ass kicked and flew back into y'all's landing shuttle and ended up frying Shaun's cyber deck when he got thrown back into your cyber deck. So he had to end up making a crash landing into your landing shuttle's system. So
Ouch.
That's actually how he ended up communicating with the alien artifact, is because he got inside the same drone as it. That's the only way he can communicate with it, the artifact, is if they're both like in the same device. Oh, and it's something important to note is that Devin thinks that when he thinks he woke up the artifact, and he thinks that the artifact does the same things as he does because he woke it up. So like he's now Devin's copycat.
Yeah. Oh. I think Devin reads too many comic books.
It's very possible.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to allude to, but you worded it way stronger than I did.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When I worded it, it just sounded like kind of like, oh yeah, they could do the same thing. You're like, no.
Oh, I may have missed you saying that. I may have missed you saying that. Apologies.
So can we, while we're headed back, why don't we send a hello, like try and open communications to the drone and say hello?
Sure.
Unless somebody thinks that's a
try.
Well, Devin said that he couldn't understand what it was saying. So I don't know if it'll understand the communication. But
Okay.
we can try.
Well, what if we send it in like binary machine code? I mean, it can use our machines, our computer systems, although I don't know what a high would be necessarily, except a input-output request. I don't know.
Right. And if we
How much
use...
sci-fi has Levi watched? Probably not. He's into westerns.
That's funny. I mean, you basically want to try to communicate with the drone. Essentially, you want to try to.
Yeah, Levi would just be like, open a regular old channel or whatever, and start trying to talk to it. Be like, "Hello, can you hear us? Do you
Yeah.
understand us?"
I follow you.
We can
Okay.
try that too.
Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't really have an artificial intelligence, but you can try to send it a signal. I mean, you can try to give it a command. Is that what you're hoping to do?
That might make more sense. What's the most like? Oh, what's a command I would give a drone that's not like a heavy order or something that's just like a, hey, I can communicate with this thing.
Ping? You wanna
Is there
ping
a
it.
thing?
You can just
Yeah,
tell it to
or,
come back
like,
to
just-
you.
Well, how about I send the signal that says like, give me your diagnostics, your status.
There you go. There you go. Status signal. Sure. You can do that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay. Sure. All right. So you give it a signal, send it a signal. All right. I'll say that
Yeah.
wouldn't require a roll. Just send to do a diagnostic. No electronics roll for that. Okay. All right. So okay. So you do that, and it says comes back with user profile unknown. Uh, um, C Griffin for reestablishing master profile. It's basically saying that you're not
Yeah.
established as a profile for controlling the drone.
That makes sense.
Essentially, it's telling you that basically the artifact has basically taken back over control of the taking control of the drone from you.
Okay. And um we probably can't do this. Can we remote control we can't remote control the big ship from the shuttle to tell it to come closer to us and further away from the drone. Like, that seems like a security flaw to allow that to happen from the shuttle.
You want to try to get the shuttle to like just come like you can just you're in the shuttle, so you can just like manually pull it away. That's what you're wanting. You can just turn
He
on
wants to bring
manual
the big ship
controls.
to us.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
thinking, okay, if it's closer to the big ship than we are, then move the big ship.
oh, we
towards
went over this
us.
last game. I think it would probably be something
Yeah,
that's probably not built into ships. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
probably something.
That's what I was saying. It's a
Yeah,
security.
it's probably not. Yeah, it's
like
probably
that.
not security. Something that probably
Um,
because it'd be so easy to hijack its landing shuttle.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, anybody else got an idea other than get back to the ship? Is the drone doing like just moving towards the ship, or is it like?
You want to do a scan from the landing shuttle
Yeah.
to see what it's doing? Sure.
Yeah.
Make a. I'll take an electronics or a notice roll.
How about regular old notice? Whoosh. 5.
Okay. So yeah, you see that the drone is just really just kind of like doing circles around your ship right now, scanning it.
Can Arthur do a scan to see if he can pick up any anomalous signals, specifically around the cube itself, that presumably would be mirrored in the drone, specifically connecting the cube and the drone. Any anomalous signals bouncing around.
Oh, what kind of signal are you looking for, if you don't mind? Like, are you looking for something specific?
Well, if this entity is projecting itself from this cube artifact into the drone, there should be some sort of signal.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you're looking for a communication back and forth. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Make an electronics roll, I guess.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. So I'll say that there's like too much space debris, maybe making it difficult to get a good signal read or something like that. At least from your current position, maybe. If you got closer to the artifact, maybe it'll give you a +2 bonus to the electronics read. So.
Okay.
Because I know you want to get close to that artifact. Or you can Benny it. Actually, talk about Bennies, actually. And I wanted to actually talk to you guys about that. Let's talk about that advancement you guys are supposed to get. You guys jumped on making rolls. So give yourself that advancement we talked about. And everybody was going to get an advancement, which means you're up to seasoned rank now. Season rank means now that all you guys can increase an attribute by 1. Okay? So any of you guys who are really hankering for getting an attribute up, this is your chance to do it. But you won't be able to do it again till veteran. And so now would be the time to do it if you really were hankering to do it. And I will also dish out bennies. With Spencer being here, and he won't be able to leave, really, and his character was probably going to be, unfortunately, probably going to be kind of important to the story, probably. I don't think we can just pretend he's not here. I'll probably just play him if something comes up, and we need him for some reason. I'll just take him out of the party sheet, but we'll put him in the combat tracker if we need to.
To be fair, Aston pretends he's
actually,
not there all
we'll
the
keep
time.
him on the party sheet. I'll just I'll make sure to only spend 3 bennies, 3 GM bennies. Probably the best way to do it. And Levi's in there now. Okay, and we'll reset adventure cards and reset bennies. Okay. All right, so you guys can spend your advance just at whatever point you want. Just take your time, and we can keep playing while you guys are doing that. What were you saying about Aston?
I was being a smartass. I said Aston pretends that Spencer's not there all the time.
That is so true.
I'm going to take on electronics, I think, at a D4 after fiddling with my computer.
Yeah, after getting that malware on it.
Yeah, Arthur's deciding to spend his time on electronics as well.
You guys are figuring out that it's like a really important skill in
Kind
this
of
game.
important.
Marginally, yeah.
Early on, we thought it was going to be like first couple sessions. We were like, athletics is being really important, and then now it's like, no, apparently it's a lot of electronics for everything.
I have people for that.
Yeah, apparently, you have your rest of the crew for it. That's why I haven't been making it like have a lot of penalties, like because I knew it was going to come up a lot. That way, you guys don't have to have like D8s and D10s and stuff in it a lot. You know, as long as you guys just have like basic working levels, like most people might have in the world at it, then you guys can feel comfortable. Does that make sense with it? You know, one of you guys can have a high level at it and be like the go-to person for the really hard things. You know.
Yes. Arthur now has a D10 in it. So.
Yeah, so you'll be the guy to go to for like the really hard stuff, you know.
Am I supposed to have 2 adventure cards? but I can only play one a session.
Oh, y'all may
I
have
have two as
gotten 2 with the increase in rank.
Okay, that's kind of what I was wondering. I just wasn't sure.
Let me check the adventure deck rules.
Can the GM play wild? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, but that's how the
Are there
adventure deck
any
works.
NPCs that are wild cards as well?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
make wild card NPCs. Yeah.
Okay.
And they get bennies. Why?
Because one of my adventure cards relates to an opposing wild card.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can have those. Well, that cyborg y'all fought that almost killed. Well, you weren't there for that session, but that cyborg that almost killed all the players was a wild card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what's next, guys? Captain.
Is the drone gonna like? I don't know that I have any other ideas until we're like flying close enough to
if it
the
helps
main
you,
ship.
then I'll kind of go over briefly what you do know. So you do know
Okay.
the artifact was in like a box that was essentially like what I call it before. It was a
Faraday cage.
Faraday cage. Yes, essentially it was for whatever reason, the wolves took it out of it. Probably because they didn't know what it was, and they didn't know what the treasure was. They just assumed that it was valuable. And but you know that the artifact is floating out in space, and your mission was to get the artifact. So, I mean, you've got an objective, which is to get the artifact. So maybe there's something you could do, I guess, like find the Faraday cage. I mean, that's something you could do.
I follow that thought process. I'm just worried about
I'm just trying to help.
the artifact intelligence taking over our exit from the middle of nowhere space before
Well,
we can.
You could just
If
go
we can
blast the. You could just go blast the drone down. Your drone down. I mean, you do have guns on this landing shuttle. I think we'd established that it
forgot about
has
that.
like a basic gun, didn't we?
Yeah, because if we replaced it, because Spencer was shooting it at one point, but then
No, he was
somebody
shooting
busted
the
the
gun
camera.
on the main ship.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, didn't we establish that this thing has a basic gun?
I don't remember.
We can say
I
it
don't
does.
recall.
GM says we have it, so
We can say it does. Like a basic, like just like a crowd control type firearm.
Arthur, you're in charge of first contact with intelligent other things. What do you say?
Because I'm so good with people. I mean, if we
It's
want
not
to,
a people.
if we want to stop it. I mean, I theorize that there may be a signal coming from the artifact that's controlling the drone. So if we put the Faraday cage around the artifact, that should cut off all contact with the outside world. But the cage is on the wolf ship. We theorize.
Somewhere.
Okay, so if we look at the wolf ship, is the cabled dead body armor thing like? Does the other end of the cable go to the cargo hold? Like, is it? You already said there was a big hole somewhere that wasn't the bridge. Is it easy enough to get on the wolf ship? I guess is really the question.
Yeah, y'all want to go if you want to kind of look out your windows or whatever, your cameras, and kind of look out over there. Sure. It looks like it is whoever. It looks like someone cabled up and went out there to the artifact from the bridge of the wolf vessel. probably through the breached opening.
It just looks like he tried to grab the artifact. Well, he didn't
He
even
was
get
about
that
100
close.
meters away before bad stuff happened to him.
Can we visually scan to see if the cage is floating in the debris?
Sure.
Would we be
Make a
able to
notice
do
roll.
that?
I'll say that's going to be a -2, though. There's lots of debris.
Notice. Huh. Nope.
It's difficult to make out something like that in all the debris.
For the record,
Arthur,
I don't like any of this.
Can you make a Faraday cage for us?
Theoretically, it's not.
You can make one.
If I have the materials, it's pretty simple.
It'll take time more than anything. It wouldn't be hard. It would just be time consuming. Oh, and by the way, you're in a decaying orbit before these two ships fall into a gas giant. You have
Check.
2 days and 18 hours.
Yeah, we probably forgot to mention that during recap.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It's very relevant with the speed at which we make decisions. So
Yes. Well, you guys burned 6 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so go make a cage or go look for the cage. Either way, we need to get the artifact. Let's just... How bad of an idea is it to just fly over there and try to... Wait, we don't have like a tractor beam or anything fancy like that to get something from space.
No. I mean, if you had your ship over here, you could
the big
throw
one.
out cables from it and drag something. But you don't have anything like that from your landing shuttle.
So back
you
to the
could
main
rig up
ship.
something.
It sounds like most of the rigging requires us to go back to the main ship and get...
Well, no, you could do it from
and/or-
here. Like, you could, like, put on your spacesuits and, like, just go out of your ship and do it.
And end up without a head like the other one that's out there?
Mm-hmm. And
It's very possible that he lost his head because he was close to the artifact instead of being here. You're not next to the artifact. You're like 600 meters from the artifact at this point.
And our spacesuits are not mechanized, which means that thing cannot control them, except maybe turn off the oxygen or something wonderful like that.
You can sell that stuff to manual. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be wise. My concern is if we do go back to the big ship and this entity is like, oh, I want to make contact with them, and it jumps onto our ship and inadvertently or purposefully kills us or destroys the ship with whatever.
If it already got on the drone, I don't know why it wouldn't be able to get on the main ship if it wanted to.
Make a smarts roll,
Right.
Levi.
No. Oh, it's not negative.
He knows his ship.
I mean, you have an AI core on your ship, which makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So it makes your ship a little bit more difficult to jump onto. So.
Plus, Arthur has some sweet, like, firewall built, right?
Spencer doesn't do
might
that.
be in charge of that. Yeah, Spencer might be in charge of that. But your ship does have an advanced operating system. You paid for that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I don't want to send anybody to jump out of this ship, the shuttle, so let's go see if we can rig up some sort of a scoop or net or something on the big ship and try and scoop the artifact up with that while Arthur tries to figure out how to communicate with this thing.
So the drone is circling the big ship. Levi, does this shuttle have an advanced AI to repel this entity as well? It may not have noticed us yet. Over here. I'm just wondering.
I mean, no, but I can't imagine it having not noticed us, especially when we like asked the drone for a diagnostic scan. But
True. I was just wondering.
For the record, I don't like any of this.
just for safety, do we have enough spacesuits for everybody to get in one?
Yep.
Why don't we do that? And then we'll head back to the
I
big
assumed
ship.
you guys were already in them.
I think we already are in them. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were extra vehicular earlier.
Yeah,
Oh,
EVA suits. I
okay.
think they already have them equipped, actually. In fact, you should equip them on your character. Okay, so go to the library tab. Go to claim the
Yeah.
stars. And you should see a new item under advanced personal armor called EVA suit.
Ah, there it is. Cool.
Now it's now you won't be able to wear it and your tactical armor,
Oh no.
but you can, like, your synthweave skin you can stack with it.
Cool.
I thought we didn't get the double bonus.
Well, you'll get the half bonus, from synthweave skin.
I got you. Yeah, it was the helmet that was the thing that we had the.
Yeah, just make sure the helmet isn't adding its
Plus
full.
3.
Make sure you turn it off.
Yeah, I was having that problem because I've got a different
Yeah.
helmet than regular as well.
Yep. Okay.
Um,
So you guys are heading back to your ship, correct?
Arthur speaks up. Another thing that occurs to me is if we could get one of those pyramids off of the space zombies, we might be able to study it and figure out something more, communication signal or something like that.
Or it somehow takes control of you.
Maybe. I'll use gloves.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from one of those things.
and all of those are on the Astra Unum ship right now that we know of.
Well, a couple of them are
like-
floating out in space.
Sweet. So again, get the net, start scooping up space stuff. I still see that as our main plan, other than if somebody's going to volunteer to be our space net, our space grabby hander.
Okay, so you're gonna fashion some device. You can take cargo netting out of the cargo hold.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds like a good idea.
Do we have cargo netting that's metal?
I would imagine you have pretty strong cargo netting to hold heavy duty items, like some kind of like heavy duty mesh type.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going back to like the Faraday cage thing. If we could, if we grabbed a zombie, cut off the signal with a metal net, or potentially the artifact. I don't know.
Do we have
I
any
don't know
cargo
if a net
containers?
would be dense enough to cut off a signal. But
I have no idea.
Do we have any like present day style cargo containers that are just a big metal box
yeah,
in the
sure,
cargo hold already?
sure. I
Are they
mean,
big enough
as long as
to
you're not
hold
looking
a-
for like 30 of them, I'm sure you can
Just an old lead
wrangle
one
up
somewhere.
like one. Sure.
Because I mean, those tend to. If we're just trying to have a halfway decent hope of an existing Faraday cage sort of a thing, that might work.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you got
So-
at least like one cargo container down there. Sure.
Okay. Well, let's get. Somebody come up with an idea on how to like aim and shoot the cargo container or maneuver the cargo container out of either the shuttle or the cargo bay.
That sounds like a job for MacGyver. Oh, I can't roll it.
Do we have a spare drone that could like
You
tugboat
have
it?
used both your drones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we haven't blown up the one that's floating around the ship just yet.
Check. If only we had a Holocaust cloak. Nobody,
what on
nobody
earth is
gets
that?
That's the line from Princess Bride
Oh,
when
okay. All
dude's
right.
waking up from being mostly dead. Anyway.
Oh, okay, got you. All right. Okay, so Arthur, are you
never
gonna
seen
MacGyver
that.
something?
Yeah, sounds like a.
I have seen
A good
Princess
idea.
Bride, obviously, but it's been so long. I wouldn't have gotten a reference like that. Now, if you used a different reference, maybe I would have gotten like a Nigel Montoya or something like that. But
Well,
the
does
Holocaust
anybody want a
cloak is-
peanut?
Yeah, I get that one. That one's what's his name that passed away,
Yeah.
big guy. But I couldn't remember his name. For
Andre
the life
the
of me.
Giant?
Yes, thank you. So Arthur, so you're gonna MacGyver something?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll repair.
So explain to me what you guys are doing. You guys are wanting to build some kind of scoop to scoop zombies outside of the ship, floating in
Well-
space.
The first target, I think, should be the artifact, but in concept, yes. How big is the artifact? Do we know? Will it fit in one of these cargo containers?
Size-wise, it wasn't big, but weight-wise, it was...
It was 1,000. It was like 3 foot by 3 foot cube, 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot cube, and it was 1,000 pounds. So it was like super dense. Yeah, your first target is just to fly straight to the artifact and just to scoop
Personally,
Is it?
I think we
I'm-
should get more information.
Okay.
Says
Gather some
Arthur.
info.
it up. Okay, so you're
So
gonna
if we can
MacGyver a
find one of
scoop,
those zombies.
and so you're gonna just like hang this essentially like MacGyver a scoop to hang down from the bottom of the ship, essentially, and it's gonna have like some kind of arm like to like close or something.
I guess.
I'm just trying to help you
I'm not-
here.
No, I'm trying to think of how we would do it. I mean, could we rig some like little rockets to like guide it, or
Do the EVA suits have? Is it like the actual the seats that current NASA people have little jets sometimes to move them around? Is there
No,
stuff like
it's
that?
EVA suits are basically like just basically future versions of those. I mean, they have
Cool.
like they have essentially like mini boosters on them, but they don't have to have like a seat to have those. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like you have the
Yeah.
mini like adjustment boosters, but they don't have to have. They're heavier than like a normal spacesuit because they have those built in, but it doesn't have to have like the fancy seat built onto it. Does that make sense? So there's more mobility, but that makes them a
Yeah,
little heavier.
I was just getting at the
Yeah.
thrust capability.
Yes,
or
it does
not.
have thrust capability on the EVA suits.
Okay.
I mean, minor thrust capability, but yes.
are you
Ashton's
thinking
shaking his
we?
head. He's like,
I feel like we're in a damned if we do, damned if we don't situation here. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
would I
let-
roll if I tried to lasso something in space? Like literally,
it'd be a shooting
have a
roll, I
rope.
guess. I mean, a rope with a rope? Well, first off, lassoing requires like
Well-
gravity, I guess, and like inertia
Well-
and all kinds
well,
of
we can
things.
We can
But-
rig it more like a bolo, so there's weights on like four corners, so we can apply force to
Okay,
those.
so you're thinking about
and direct
using a
those.
cable and like putting like brackets and stuff on it and like shooting it out and then having a system in place where you can tighten it and basically
Reel it back
wrap a
in.
cable
Yeah.
around something. Okay. And
You
you'd have
gotta
to do
make
it
a space
four-way,
cowboy roll.
and you'd have to do a 4-way cable where it'll wrap both sides on an X and Y axis,
Okay.
probably, to catch a square object. Sorry, a cube-like object,
Mm.
probably.
Oh, but if we're just going for the space zombie first,
Oh, a space. Okay, yeah.
Arthur wants a space zombie to examine first.
Okay. All right, that's not that hard to MacGyver. So make a repair
Cool.
roll. Make a repair roll. Because you're basically just taking cargo
Wow.
netting from inside the ship, and you're. Oh, you're lucky you rolled. Okay, good. Where'd you
I'm
get
rolling
supposed to? Oh,
bad.
Mr. Fix-It. Thank goodness you had Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that saved you. Okay, yeah. So you did rig up something. So I would say you'd have to basically make. You'd probably have to essentially take out the warheads out of one of your like torpedo tubes and basically feed a cable into it and launch it through it. What's up, Groove Buddy? So essentially you're firing a cable and then you're rigging up some kind of winch system so you can reel it back in, essentially. So is that what you guys are doing? You're still got to make a shooting roll, essentially, to fire it at a zombie.
Awesome. I am super awesome at the crane game in this world, so I got us covered.
Okay.
It's canon. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
play
we'll see.
I play the crane game in a cannon.
Sure.
That's
we'll see.
my thing.
Well, the last planet we were on, Aston was pretty good at shooting as well.
Yeah,
Oh
that's right.
yeah.
Especially
I
people
think
on the
he's very
ground
good.
already out of commission. All right. Now, okay, so you guys are gonna go. All right, so here's how it's gonna be. The zombies there's some zombies that have already from the initial attack on Shaun that have already kind of like floated out into among the debris. So here's your options. You can control the speed in which it thrusts out of the torpedo bay, and you can get close to the zombie and make your shot easier. But that'll require you navigating into the debris. Or you can stay further back in safety and take a harder shooting shot. So in other words, difficult piloting trick, easy shooting, or harder shooting, no pilot check.
What kind of debris are we talking about? Like how much damage to, or would it be sort of a situation? Like is it gonna endanger lives to get closer with the ship? Our lives.
I don't know if it would as much danger lives as it would maybe like yeah, it might endanger lives. I'll probably just roll on the damage table,
Yeah,
and if
okay.
it goes over the toughness of the ship, and then we'll decide if it's a I'll decide. Then we'll decide if it's
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Like it'll have to
Yeah.
do enough damage to go over the toughness of the ship, and then it'll be a factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How about you pilot, I shoot?
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like
Who's got the better
Well-
shooting?
we should make some teamwork happen.
Well, we could rig this more like a scoop. Probably still want the weights, but to the shuttle, and then we're not putting the big ship in danger. Then just pilot the shuttle through the debris, snag a zombie.
Okay.
I mean,
But you already made the grabber claw thing.
okay, let's do it. Let's shoot it.
What's a
Let's get her
harpoon?
more information.
Cable, right? Not a grabber
now?
claw?
Yes.
Yeah, cable. Yeah.
I mean, you could do that. You just had to take the torpedo launcher off of your ship and put it onto the landing shell. But you're welcome to do that.
What? No.
Okay. All right. So what are you guys doing?
I'm
Going into
gonna
the debris?
pilot this closer.
Okay.
And Aston's gonna take a shot.
Okay, so make a pilot roll at a -2.
Modifier -2. Where'd piloting go? There it is. Whoosh. Oh. Okay. Where'd those bennies go? Let's try that again. -2.
If you just make a success, you won't take any damage.
Come on. Are you serious?
All right.
Okay, well, apparently we're taking some damage. I gotta have bennies left over when the zombies attack.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make your shooting roll -2. That's actually throwing you a bone here. You're shooting a human-sized object from a spaceship. Look at that. I'd see, why is it giving you a Joker bonus? No. Oh, it's because we still have the same cards from last time.
So a 9.
Yeah, still though. A raise. Nice. Okay. Very cool. So you hook the zombie successfully and start winching in. I'm just trying to find. I cannot find the bookmarks for some reason from this book for the life of me. Okay, there we go. So the zombie starts raking in and coming into the ship. There we go.
And then just so I'm clear, we're on the big ship, right?
I'm assuming you guys did on the big ship, right?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assumed.
That's what I thought too, but I know we mentioned the shuttle, and I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because pulling a zombie onto the shuttle seems a hell of a lot worse than onto a big ship.
No.
Yeah, no, that seemed like a bad idea. No. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm being quiet. I rolled in the tower. Okay, so the ship. So what happens is you winch the zombie in, and you're pulling it in, and Levi, you you feel something catch inside one of the engines as you're pulling the ship in, and it appears you made a miscalculation, and so you start to try to like pull back on the thrusters a little bit, like hoping you can release whatever's in one of the engines, and when you do, it sucks it up into the engine, and so it kind of backfires on you, and so the back hull section of the ship just gets filled with some sort of like the ship starts firing off with some sort of like hazards and warnings and stuff like that, and you hear a pop or an explosion, and you're not getting any kind of like hull breach or anything like that, like messages or anything like that, but you're getting like warning messages on the ship.
So what? Just like engine lost power warnings, or what?
You're getting warning messages that something there's a breach of like hazardous conditions in the ship.
Okay.
To the staff, to the people inside the ship.
Check. Put your helmets on, guys. What do we normally do to fix that?
Clean it out.
Got to turn it off and turn it
Spencer,
back
you
on.
gotta clean something.
Spencer goes, God damn it, this is not my thing.
So yeah, can I shut? If I know which engine causes the problem, can I shut that one down? Kind of a thing, and
yes, you can, but if you do the right in the middle of the debris, you'll have to compensate with a pilot roll.
Because that goes well. Well, I'm assuming that would help in some way to not make the engine worse. So,
it'll definitely reduce the amount of whatever's happening in the in the compartments of the ship right now.
Okay. Then yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Can you reverse?
Well, I think that's what caused the problem.
Yeah.
In the first place, was I started basically trying to reverse, and then one of my engines sucked up something.
Okay. So you want to make a pilot roll? I'll say, yeah, it's gonna be a -2 to get back. Essentially, you're trying to get basically back out of harm's way. You're gonna try to compensate, and then I want to say the get back out of the debris will all be the same roll. So pilot -2.
Okay. I am thinking play to add to any trait roll.
I got clawed by my dog, by the way. I'm not trying to be Nelly.
I want to do well on this thing. What? That is not how I was supposed to do that, but
so extra effort.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. It's supposed to add an extra D6 to a roll.
Sweet.
But I don't know what exactly it did.
So so the way that works is you got a 4. So add a +4. So you got a 4.
Whatever I roll for the pilot.
Yeah, that's what you do.
But I need the -2.
I don't know what the -2 is from.
I had already put the -2 into the adjustment roll.
Oh, okay.
In prep, and then I thought about whether or not to use
anything you roll. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the pilot roll at -2. Oh, wonderful.
So you forgot to add the
Okay,
but so
+4.
So then you would have made it. Good deal. Okay, so you compensate. So you shut off the engine, and then it wiggles for a split second, and then you take control of it, and then you just pull the ship up out of the debris, and a quick jolt, and then, but thankfully they get the zombie back up into the cargo hold. I'm assuming that would be the smartest place to put the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are out of the clear of the worst part of the debris, and you guys are golden. So, but the areas still got vaporous areas in the ship.
So I
can tell you exactly where in the ship if it's important to you.
Well, I was gonna say Arthur should probably figure out what he needs to figure out with the zombie, and I could do an initial look at what the hell's going on with the engine and what's leaking.
Do you need me to take off its head?
Ask Arthur.
If you would like to, I guess. That'll
Is
be
it still
less
moving?
dangerous.
Is
Okay,
the
here's
zombie
plan.
still moving?
We'll send Spencer down there. Hear me out.
Spencer. God, Spencer's not even here. Jeez. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, new plan. If we want somebody to deal with the zombie, I'll deal with the zombie, and Arthur can go figure out what's going on in the engine room or
Okay.
where the leak is.
Yes. I think really we only need the head and the little pyramid. And like Aston mentioned, maybe don't touch it with your hands. We don't know what it does. So.
If only I had a machete.
You seem like the kind of guy who would have knives.
Let's say we have to have some like sharp metallic thing on the ship somewhere.
All right. Okay. So
I can't believe I didn't actually
So
buy
who winched the zombie in?
I did.
Okay, so you're already down there. Okay. So you're down in the cargo hold. So you're
So I'm down here with this thing?
well, I'm assuming you winched it in. So you're down there with it.
Yeah, I mean,
That makes sense. So you're down here on the map with the zombie. Okay?
You didn't share the map with us.
Oh, you can open it from the chat log.
The Griffin Explorer,
But yeah, I can share it, sure. But
I got it. We're good,
Okay.
thank you.
and I'll just drop a I'm just putting this zombie in the combat tracker just so I can put the token out there. He's not getting
sure thing.
animated or anything. Not right now, at least. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I totally trust you.
And okay, so I asked this out there, Levi, you're currently on the bridge. Since you guys you haven't decided exactly on where everybody is and what everybody's doing. I'm just putting everybody out there, and you guys can figure it all out. Okay, so and what are you doing, Arthur?
He was probably on the bridge during the capture process, and he would have started making his way down to the cargo hold once it was captured and it was being reeled in.
Okay. All right. Good. We got that. Now then. Okay. So now all that happened. Now what are you guys doing individually?
So firstly, as soon as this thing gets reeled in,
It's on the ground in front of you, and now it's no longer as cold, so it's starting to like move again, and it's cracking, and like it's because its flesh is like, it's starting
frozen solid.
Well, it's not really frozen. Like that's kind of a myth. If there's not moisture in space, it's not gonna quote unquote freeze as much. It's just cold. So it's just kind of like starting to crack and move and all that kind of stuff, and it starts kind of like wiggling and shit, and it starts trying to move around and get its bearings. So what do you do?
So I notice it when it first starts doing that.
Yeah.
But I also am looking over to try to see, does it have one of the little pyramid shards in it?
Oh yeah,
Are its eyes changed?
it's got 2 or 3 probably in its head. No,
Okay.
its eyes look like dead human eyes.
Okay. And is it pinned in like the little netting that we brought it in, or is it just?
It's got a cable winched around like its midsection.
Okay. Is that
Because you turn the cables into like a lasso type thing. So,
okay?
Yeah.
And with the 7 notice roll, do I have an idea of like, is that going to be enough to restrain it, like connected to whatever wench it was connected to, like hold it still there? Or do I?
Yeah, I mean it's not. I'm assuming you kind of pulled it in and just kind of threw it on the floor. If you want to keep winching until it's super tight, this winch, I mean you can. But right now there's probably about 5 feet of loose from it to the winch, just so you could pick it up and throw it on the ground. So it's got about 5 feet.
I'm going to crank it as tight as I can while keeping an eye on it. If it looks like it's starting to
at a certain point,
regain...
you'll have to start winching, and you'll be dragging your body weight. It's body weighting it from across the ground with the winch. So I'll just FYI, but the winch will be doing all the work. So, but you'll see it actually pulling it along the ground with the winch. It'll be really cool.
Let's do that, and then. If I see this thing as starting to spring to life and become a little bit more spry, I'm immediately going to distance myself from it and draw my gun. All right. What can I do?
Yeah, when it gets close to the winch, it probably could take a swing at you. But yeah. Okay. All right. So you're doing that. You're winching it up. Okay, we'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Arthur, what are you doing? Going downstairs?
He's going to continue to the cargo hold unless Levi tells him over the comms that, hey, I'll go help Aston.
Okay, then we'll jump to Levi then, since he said different things. So Jeremy, what do you do?
That's exactly what I was going to do, is get up to go to the cargo hold and say, Arthur, there's a leak of something probably in the engine room. I need you to check it out because we need to be able to use all of those spaces and make sure nothing's majorly broken. It was engine number 4, 3, whatever in this quadrant.
Okay.
Got it.
And you immediately understand leak means bad for human exposure. So
right.
Probably want to bring a rebreather mask or EVA suit or something like that. So
yeah, well, it hasn't been too long. I imagined Arthur was still running around in his EVA suit.
Yeah, you probably weren't doing the repair work with your helmet on, but you might throw it back on your head and then run down there. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. So you just kind of like make your way back down this hall here, and then do you? So you just immediately wherever you're at, throw it on.
Yeah, he's gonna.
So that way you're ready for the worst case scenario. Okay.
Right, but he's not going to open the door yet. He's going to check one of the panels and see what the computer's actually saying about the leak.
Okay.
See what info he can get.
All right. Well, thank goodness you guys have those little. You have your PDD connected to the computer on the ship.
Yeah.
So you just want to pull up your PDD on your.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you pull up your PDD and you check it out, and it says that the passenger quarters are contaminated by vapors of a blah 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 chemical, and also your new science lab and the landing shuttle.
Okay.
Not the science lab.
I guess Arthur would attempt to vent those areas, unless we have some sort of filter system that could he could just turn it up and then go in, fix the leak, and
Well, the filtration system is essentially the same thing as venting. Like you have to suck it out, right? I mean, that's the way it essentially works, you know. But yes, unfortunately, until the leak is repaired, venting it wouldn't help because it'll just keep coming in. So
right, okay,
yeah.
Then yeah, Arthur's gonna go in and attempt to fix the leak. I think he's gonna go to the engine room first.
Yep. So there is a maintenance access. Switch screens. Okay, so there is a maintenance access tunnel right through here that gets you into all the service access tunnels.
Okay.
See, that's just a control room, right? That gets you in down the little crawl passages and all that kind of stuff. And that's where you're going to have to go. So
fun.
All right. So you're basically going back in there, and so you've got like an O2 monitor and all that kind of stuff, and making sure everything's good on you, and you're heading back in there, and that's what you're doing. Okay. So we're going to put your token here, and then we're just going to that's where your token's going to be from now on for a little while. Okay. And so that's what you're going to be doing. Now, back to, so Levi is going to head back down there with him. And so you're going to, I'm going to say that of course, the zombie is going to get a chance to try to swipe at you as you're winching him in, because there's no way you're going to be able to do this on the crank and the winch and not be right beside the zombie as you pull it snug. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, that's why I said, like, specifically, as soon as he starts moving, I'm backing away.
Right. So I'm going to say make a opposed agility roll between you and the zombie. And during those last final stages.
Ooh. I'm going to burn a Benny.
Nice. Burning bennies are the most interesting little things. I love it. They don't have a great agility. Oh my god, he just like aced it 3 times. Oh my god. All right. So like it's just perfect timing. But he can still miss though, right? But I'm trying to decide if he's gonna grab you and then try to bite you and breach your
Benny
space
to make you
suit?
reroll?
Huh?
Can I burn a Benny to make you reroll?
No, you can't. Sorry, because I can't spend a Benny to make you reroll. So it doesn't work that way. I wished it could. That'd be so cool, but it doesn't work that way.
I mean, you're God. You can do anything you want.
No, I can't. Not in this game. All right, there's specific rules. So I'm thinking I will. I'm gonna just use this bite/claws. And so basically, like, he just, like, reaches out at you as you try to winch him. And he just, like, tries to grab your ankle while you're down your, like, knees trying to winch him. And he just, like, tries to bite at you. So it's a fighting roll. And I don't know why it didn't roll. Oh, it's because I rolled from the... My bad. What is your parry? Oh, parry's 2. That hits you. Okay. So let's see if it does enough damage. You're shaken, so it's actually not enough to go through your EVA suit. So what happens is he bites your boot, and it just startles you, right? And you become shaken, and so you just like, oh, jeez. And so what do you do now?
Well, I mean, kick it in the face and then back up.
Nice. But he's fully winched back, so you just kind of back up and just kind of like pull back from the situation. And we'll say that's when Levi shows up. Right, and he sees that like transpire as he comes down the ladder.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna calm up and just basically just
go.
figure out what we're gonna do with this thing, or I'm gonna fucking kill it.
I was hoping it
Isn't
would
that
breach
the
your suit.
plan?
I was hoping it would breach your suit.
Wait, I don't think we really need it alive. I mean, it would be nice if we could mess with it while it's alive, but
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe you did
You
there's
need
time
to.
for now.
So all we want is one of those triangle things, right? So
I don't know. Do you? Is that all you need?
that's all Arthur asked for.
And love.
And love.
All you need is love?
I don't need love from the zombie. Thank
You
you.
want love from this thing? You come down here and get it yourself.
No.
Bite it back. No. Okay. So what if I grab a chain or rope or something and toss it around the top part of the zombie and hold it down, and you find some tongs or something and try and yank one of the triangles out?
Oh, hell yeah. Surgery on the zombie.
Surgery, no. Just like, I'm thinking it's like sticking out enough that you... Wait, is it the pointy end sticking out, or is it like the
No,
triangle?
it's like the edge of a railroad spike sticking out. It looks
Well,
like someone shot a pyramid into its head.
Okay, so we could...
Yeah, it looks like someone shot a tiny railroad spike into its head.
So pin its head down and give me a screwdriver.
Yeah.
But who's going to, like, pin it down?
I was volunteering.
Okay, you're volunteering to
grab
pin
a
it down.
And, like...
Okay.
Be behind the zombie and grab it with the chain and pull it down. That's my plan.
Okay. All right.
He wants to make another space cowboy roll.
Okay. I mean, that's still going to be an athletics roll to grapple it. But I'm going to give you a +2 bonus because you're using a chain to do it and you're behind it. But it is still a zombie, right? I mean, there's still always a chance that a zombie... You know, we've all seen zombie movies, right? I mean, there's always a chance that it could go badly. So.
You're right. I want to put the helmet
on.
Oh, and
you
first.
Can't get behind it because it's winched to the ground.
Well, the winch is on the wall then. Good point.
Oh, is it to the wall? Sure.
Well,
I'll give you that. Sure, we'll say it's the wall.
I'll give you all that. It's either that or like the floor.
Yeah, I was imagining it was on the floor, but sure. All right, it didn't matter. Either one.
So if it's on the floor, then either way. So instead of if I can't get behind it, then I'll like try and put the helmet on the EVA suit first, and then like use a metal pipe or crowbar or something to
just like hold its head still, basically, and just like
into its mouth, just push the bar into its teeth and pin it that way.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'll give you the +2 to athletics, anyways, for that. Sure.
Okay.
I'll give you that for that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's happened.
Okay, so make the pose athletics for the grappling it with a +2 bonus.
Athletics +2.
All right, and here's the it doing it.
And it's gonna ace and get a 16.5.
Oh my god!
It fucking did, dude.
Okay, so this is what happens. All right, so this is what happens. So you get on top of it with the bar, and you caught it in the midsection with the winch, but one of its hands, like it's wriggling, and you're on top of it, and Cliff's waiting for his chance to get in there with the pliers, right? And you got it in the teeth, and you feel pretty confident with it. One of the hands is pulled back in there underneath the bar. But you notice at the last moment, one of the hands has kind of like ripped free. And you thought it would go over and reach over to your face. But it went under. And it started clawing and reaching up towards your neck. So... since it's a opposed roll, though, it's going to actually try to, but it succeeded in getting a grapple at you, and it grabs at your throat. So it's just going to make a strength roll to do damage to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it did enough to do damage to you. So So basically, this zombie has got its hand like scratching away and trying to grab at your throat. Aston can still get in there and do
I'm
his
like
thing.
going, get it.
Nice, Aston.
As soon as he grabs at him, I'm gonna shoot the fucking thing in the head.
All right, okay. All right. I'm not even gonna make a roll. I'm not even gonna do damage. We just say it. He blasts the thing in the head, and it's gone. Levi, you're now covered in zombie guts and dead flesh and.
Well, now you just took all the fun out of it.
Yeah, well, I'd rather take the fun out of it than it take the neck out of you. Help me search through the shit for one of these pieces that Arthur wants.
Good plan.
You said there were 3, right?
Yeah,
great
there were 3. And they weren't in, by the way, they weren't in any kind of pattern. Like, it looks like they were just kind of like, I don't know if I'd say like randomly placed in his head. Well,
kind of like a shard
word.
from an explosion.
Yes.
That's kind of how I was picturing it.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, Arthur, what are we doing now?
Oh, Arthur is trying to fix the engine.
Yeah, Arthur, make a repair roll at a -2.
Okay.
Hey! And he got a raise, so I will say you do it in pretty good time, like pretty damn good time. Also, you got Mr. Fix-It. So what does that do for time? Doesn't it reduce your time for repair rolls?
I believe so. Halves the time normally required. Yeah,
okay, I was going to say like an hour to fix this, so we'll say it's like 30 minutes. Because time is pretty important in this mission, in this session. So we'll say half hour for this repair work. Because it's pretty extensive in there. Okay.
So Levi has enough time to shower.
Exactly.
Good job, guys. Okay. And now you can look at those shards and see what you think about those.
Okay. Guess he'll take it to his lab now that he's cycled the filtration system and all that.
Gonna purposefully not wash off the shards when we give it to Arthur.
Nice.
Just.
Oh, thank you.
Unfortunately, you can't analyze like the patterns of the zombie and like figure out how it communicates with the zombie and all this kind of stuff because
Right. But if it's like infested the flesh with nanites or something, it should be there. Anyway, do I get a bonus from the science lab?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. I assume I'm rolling science.
Yes. Science roll.
Damn. You're rolling like a zombie tonight.
Yeah,
After those first ones that were just
they're not rolling so hot. You're rolling on fire tonight. Okay, so all right. Now, okay, so essentially what you figure out is that this thing, this artifact, is it fires these projectiles from. Okay, so this artifact is capable of replicating itself, or essentially rebuilding itself in certain ways. Kind of like a replicator in, say, something like Stargate or something like that. It doesn't have a fixed form. If it has the form it has now, it's because it chooses to. It chooses these projectiles as a essentially a method of delivery system. So these spikes are a way in which it can, quote unquote, infect organic matter. And best you can tell from looking at this situation is that it doesn't understand organic matter at all. Okay. This inorganic matter is nothing you've seen ever before. The metallic substances here, I mean, they are familiar to you, but the exact composition is nothing you've seen on a terrestrial planet you've ever seen before. So like the combinations, for example. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like steel is a combination of carbon, nickel, iron ore in various degrees. Does that make sense? Like the combination of, say, tungsten, titanium, and all the things that these creatures are made of, or this artifact is made out of, the exact composition of this is like nothing you've ever seen before. So it looks like it's very much what you would consider man-made, but it's like nothing that man has never made. Okay, and given its nature, you don't think no man is capable of making this, and you don't think you could like analyze it and reproduce it. It's beyond your capability. But this is essentially, it shot this into a human being, and then it aimed at the brainstem to essentially hijack our electrical nervous system to use our body's electrical nervous system to basically puppet us and to communicate to our bodies. So, and then it tried to understand us via our electrical nervous system and our brain and our nervous system. And it did a terrible job, obviously, because it's a zombie. It doesn't really understand us, right? So, and you believe these things were just treated as pawns for it, like tools. It seems like these spikes inside here keep catalogs of data, like from when so you can't like really analyze the data really well, obviously, because you don't know how to get data from this to your computer. Does that make sense? But you can sort of understand like the spikes of information. And see, but you can see it looks like there were periods of times when the data was higher in flow. Almost like there were times when this zombie was more capable, short burst of time when this zombie was capable of more articulate actions. Very short burst of periods of time. And then it would go back to like the same static flow of like nervous system control. Most of the time, the zombie essentially was left to its own devices. Was essentially just left to just like wander and exist. It looks like occasionally, like essentially, it was used as essentially a transmit, like essentially just send information back to the artifact. Basically, it was getting a call back from the artifact saying, "Hey, tell us what you've learned about humans," and it would come back and be like, "Shit, we still don't understand anything about humans from this stupid fucking zombie." Essentially, is what your best guess is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I analyze the signal that it would have sent or received at all?
What do you want to know? That can help me out here.
I'm not entirely certain, but what would be required to,
Like,
I guess, one interface.
Like?
Say what?
What does the signal look like, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, how could we interface with it safely to communicate with the entity, and can we cut it off with what we have? So, for instance, a Faraday cage.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is a great time for us to take a break for a couple minutes, and then I'll get back with you because I've actually done research on the side about this, and I want to look it up again real quick before I give you an answer on that. And it's actually, we're actually due for a break. So we'll take a couple of minute break, everyone, and we'll be right back. We shouldn't be long. So, and then I will give Matt more information on the question he asked. I promise everyone it won't be long, and give everybody a chance to use the restroom or something like that. So, thanks again for watching. Promise we won't be long. So, thanks everyone. So, be right back.